As you may know, late David Wabara was stabbed to death by Eze Kingsley, who was a conductor of a petroleum tanker on December 7, 2018 at Rumosi community along the East-West Road following an argument. The argument started when the late David Wabara, who ran a mortuary, told the driver of the tanker to remove his tanker from his business place because it was obstructing his business. Delivering judgment on the matter, trial judge Justice Boma Diepiri held that the prosecution was able to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. In a related development, a magistrate court in Port Harcourt presided over by Chief Magistrate Rosemary Ibanibo has withdrawn from a case of attempted murder and cultism against Dele Abubari, also known as Bob Satan. Mr. Abubari is accused of being involved in an attempted murder of the leader of the conscience of Ogoni people, Gani Toba, on March 12, 2023. When the matter came up in court, Chief Magistrate Rosemary Banibo cited the charges filed by the Department of Public Prosecution and ruled that the court lacked the authority to handle the case. She advised the suspect to seek bail at the State High Court, which has the proper jurisdiction to decide on such matters. Away from that, the Board of Trustees chairman of the market, Kenneth Eze, says traders at the Rumuoji Mile 1 market in Port Harcourt will embark on a peaceful protest at the Government House today over alleged irregularities in the allocation of shops at Phase 2 of the market. Mr. Eze told our correspondent that the protest aims to express their displeasure over the ongoing shop allocation process. He alleged that individuals who are not traders are claiming shop ownership and accuse some persons of extorting 200,000 naira from traders for shop allocations.
By tomorrow, we are going out to the streets because we have informed government before that we are not comfortable how the exercise, which concerns allocation of the market, how it's going. We have keenly watched this and the expecting government to at least have a second thought because we heard about this very information, how the thing was about going. We started telling government, this way cannot save us. The people that is coming to stand for this thing, we don't know them. They are not our traders. They paid the list yesterday, and this lady is demanding the sum of over 200,000 naira from traders.
Mr. Eze, a former chairman of the market, also raised concerns that traders who participated in the 2020 ballot and made payment into the River State government account have been denied their shops, which he claims are now being allocated to non-traders.
As it stands now, we are not comfortable. I don't really know what they want to really allocate. Is this what people have already paid for before now, or what are they trying to allocate? The ones that allotted 2020 paid and had a certificate from government. If they had started to do what those people supposed to be called first and address them and settle them before 80 other ones. So they just started and want to carry out where the trading started molesting citizen people's certificates. Why?
In the meantime, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has issued a March 1st deadline for a total shutdown of operations of telecommunication companies if they do not reverse the 50% tariff increase. In a communique signed by NLC President Joe Ajero and General Secretary Emma Obaja at a meeting of the NLC Central Working Committee in Lokoja, the union said as a first step in resisting the tariff hike, Nigerian workers and other willing citizens should boycott the services of telecommunication companies daily between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. from today until the end of February. The NLC and the federal government earlier constituted a 10-man committee to deliberate on the tariff hike within 2 weeks and report back before any final decision would be made on the new telecom tariff structure. In spite of the agreement, telecom firms proceeded with the increase. The NLC has now accused them of betraying trust and disregarding due process. Now, the chairman of Kana local government area, Martin Zwibo, has reaffirmed his commitment to delivering the dividends of democracy to the people of Kana. A statement by his chief press secretary, Kobo Sodonaka, said the chairman made this commitment during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a community primary school in Bunu Banga on Wednesday. He attributed the inspiration behind the siting of the project in Bunu Banga, his community, to the love he has for his people. He told the engineer handling the project to ensure completion within 6 to 12 months. Former House of Representatives member Bernard Miko performed the foundation-laying task. The project engineer described the project as consisting of a 12-classroom block, a devotional hall, and 6 offices, including 2 for the headmaster and his vice, all with attached conveniences. The conveniences will be the core members' lodge will provide a self-contained unit with a common room and walls. Away from that, the Amayanabo and natural ruler of Kola Kingdom, King Okroma Eleki, has inaugurated new compound heads to represent the 4 compounds of Kola in the administration of the kingdom. King Eleki, while inaugurating the compound heads, charged them to promote peace and unity among the people and be transparent and accountable. He also charged them to properly coordinate activities of local vigilantes of the kingdom to avoid public complaints and enhance security in the area, especially along the waterways.
I charge you to be transparent in your dealings. Always consult with the Council of Chiefs and the Amayanabo. You are coming on board. It's not without any opposition. Try and bring everybody together. The peace of the community is very paramount, and it hinges on you. Your ability to handle the situation will bring peace. So we want peace. We want harmony in the community. The vigilante group that are under you, supervise them and ensure that they do their work. They don't go outside their mandate to do things that will bring problem to the community.
On the spot, the chairman of the Kola Council of Chiefs, Wapa Kabwari Ebeji Gaga, spoke on the significance of the occasion and his expectations from the new compound heads.
The community is structured into 5 tiers. So this is the 3rd layer and one of the most important layers in the administrative structure of the kingdom. Successfully inaugurating new persons to head these compounds is significant because more so when it is done peacefully without rancor and acrimony. My expectation is that they will exhibit great patriotism when it comes to the community interests. They will do all within their power to see that the community is peaceful, the community is protected, the community is catered for in every area of our life.
Our correspondent reports that the newly inaugurated compound heads of Kola Kingdom include Ibitro Kohat and Kuma Ibani Polo Compound, Oyibum Eleki Ogono Polo Compound, Tams Dokobo Ibebiridia Polo Compound, and Ibiba Ewa Agame Polo Compound. Still to come, today is World Radio Day. Stay with us. of Labour Party in Rivers State, Hilda Dokubo, says there was no time she was suspended by her ward in Asari local government area. Mrs. Dokubo spoke to correspondent Obi Oruware on this.
There is no suspension of any kind. Since the 5th of February, that entire council, not just Asari Toro, but Labour Party local government ESCO has been dissolved. There was no time that the actual ESCO of Ward 3, led by mine, Dokubo, ever sat with MacJ or whoever for that matter. We have here the refutal from them, and there's also something else that they had forged and misplaced people's names, designations, and signatures.
Ms. Dokubo also clarified that she has no problem with the Obedient movement and Peter Obi, adding that she declined the appointment in the Obedient group because she stands for the unity of the party.
I want to make this very clear. If you want to put anybody in any office, it is only proper that you inform the person before going public. So when I heard my name was on that list, without anybody speaking to me or anything, and it was already in public space, I wrote and said, please, I am Chairman Labour Party. I cannot take on this responsibility. I have heard Abure speak over and over about reconciliation and building unity within the party. And this is what I will also request that we do.
Now, a stakeholder in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State, Augustine Yewusira, popularly known as Baba for Masses, is felicitating an elder statesman, Lawrence Amadioha, on the occasion of his birthday. Mr. Yewusira, in a statement, described Mr. Amadioha as a man whose contribution to the development, peace, unity, and empowerment of the youth cannot be overemphasized. The statement also prayed God to grant him many more years and continued service to humanity. Away from that, Okechukwu Victor Amadi, who say he is the chairman of the Rumaholo Community Development Committee, CDC, has criticized the chairman of Obiakpo local government area, Chijioke Huon, over plans to create a parallel CDC leadership in the community. In a statement, Mr. Amadi, who is also the Action Alliance chairmanship candidate for Obiakpo, warned that any attempt by Mr. Huon to install a caretaker CDC chairman in Rumaholo could lead to a crisis. He revealed that he is currently in court with Graham Elendo Nwogu over the CDC chairmanship position under suit number CA/PH/380/2023. He further threatened legal action against anyone interfering in the affairs of the Rumaholo CDC and urged residents and the public to disregard reports about the constitution of a new CDC leadership in the community. As you may know, the chairman of the Obiakpo local government area, Chijioke Huon, says he has constituted a new chairman and members of the Rumaholo Community Development Committee, CDC. The world is celebrating Radio Day today, and former radio executive Aduratomi Bolade says radio still stands out as the most efficient and cost-effective medium for information dissemination. Mr. Bolade, former head of station of Cool Wazobia Info FM Port Harcourt, spoke to our correspondent on this.
Of all the mediums we have right now, radio is probably closest to the common man. It's the easiest for the common man to access. So I believe that radio still has a huge role to play in terms of information dissemination, in terms of news dissemination. For a country like Nigeria, not many people will prioritize having data on their phone. You pay no extra cost to consume content from radio compared to the internet, compared to television, compared to newspapers.
He also shared his thought on the debate on whether podcasts should replace radio.
The way radio is designed, radio gives you an eclectic mix of content. You find a little music, you find a little news, you find health, you find business, and so on and so forth on radio. They don't compete with one another. A lot of podcasts are actually focused on specific areas. They have niche areas they focus on. Most radio stations, most radio formats have a more generalist approach, which is why they can appeal to a vast majority of audience all at the same time. Whereas a podcast has a slightly narrow view.
Another former radio executive, Blessing Olomo, also spoke on this.
I think that a lot of people realize that social media still has the potential to disseminate falsehood, and they are careful about that, especially those of the older generations like the millennials and the generation X and the baby boomers. They are more skeptical about the social media than the generation Z. Easily consume content of social media without the worry about checks and balances. However, because of this human element, social media may not be able to take over traditional radio.
The year 2020 marked the 100th anniversary of commercial radio broadcasting, while 2024 marked 100 years of radio in Africa. This year's theme is Radio and Climate Change, emphasizing radio's role in disseminating crucial information about climate change, amplifying voices advocating for environmental sustainability, and promoting eco-friendly practices. Also today is International Condom Day, ICD. It is observed annually on February 13th, a day before Valentine's Day, to promote safer sex practices and raise awareness about the importance of condoms in preventing sexually transmitted infections, STIs, including HIV and unplanned pregnancies. The day encourages open conversations about sexual health challenges, the stigma surrounding condom use, and promotes accessibility to condoms as an essential tool for reproductive health. This year's theme is Just Use It, Protect, Prevent, Empower. In Abuja, stakeholders at the 2025 National Condom Summit on Wednesday called for the local production of condoms to improve access to prevent measures against HIV and sexually transmitted infections, STIs, in Nigeria. We go on another short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news.
Modelo Hotel and Suites Valentine's Fiesta.
Is calling for what it describes as serious global pressure on Israeli authorities to end the deadly campaign that has displaced 44,000 Palestinians in the north of the occupied territory. The organization's vice president, Diana Al-Zir, said the West Bank is experiencing the worst situation since the Second Intifada, adding that certain aspects of the military campaign may be even worse. Now that's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Orazi gas explosion death toll has risen to 8. Court has sentenced man to death for killing of mortuary owner in River State. Traders are planning to protest today in Port Harcourt. The NLC has threatened to shut down as they demand reversal of telecom tariff hike. Today is World Radio Day. It's also Condom Day. On the foreign scene, Rights Group is calling for global action as Israeli military campaign displaces thousands of Palestinians. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.